Well, if you just joined us, you're welcome. You're watching Arise Prime Time, where we offer perspectives on news and talking points of the day with me, Sulaiman Alede. Now, we're still taking a look at President Bola Tinubu's cabinet list. Ibrahim Modibo, a member of the ruling All Progressives Congress, is my guest now. Good to see you and thanks for your time. We just had Daniel Bola, and he said, well, the list seemed to be a list populated by people already known, and he also doesn't think that your party should have gone around to, reshuffle and bring back some of those that have done, that have been ministers, governors, and back again to being ministers.
Thank you very much, Suleiman, for this invitation. I'm happy to be here, to talk about the ministerial list. Now, part of the most worthy and outstanding narrative of the Tinubu administration is the ability of the government, or better said, the president, to assemble some of the best brains that Nigeria can offer at this point in time. While traversing across the seas and oceans, he has been able to build bridges across streams and rivers. By the fact that these appointments came at no better time than now, bearing in mind that he has been able to put across technocrats, bureaucrats, political warriors, and also looking at the people that fought hard and won this election for our current democracy. Now, the ministerial list has also been able to engage the women and the youth. I can tell you, out of 28 ministerial positions so far secured, 7 are women. Never in the history of Nigeria have we had this kind of compilation. From the colonial period to the present, there has never been any government in this country that has been able to give 7 ministerial slots to women. I challenge anybody to tell me the government. Now, in hope renewed, we have seen the president not only bring in the old brigades as postulated by the opposition, but we've seen the president assembling, hardcore professionals, politicians of conscience, people that have been able to leave a major landmark on the sand of times. If you look at some of the governorship candidates that some people are opposing, let me tell you, go to their states where they have governed. You will agree with me, Suleiman, Nyesom Wike, of which we brought from the PDP from River State, Nasiru El-Rufai, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, the governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, and Badaru. Even if you don't like their faces, the fact that if you go to their states, if you go to Kaduna, Kaduna looks like Europe. Malam Nasiru El-Rufai has turned around the fortunes of Kaduna State for the better. Go to Ebonyi State and see what David Umahi has done. If you go, you think that David Umahi is another Napoleon the Great, bearing in mind that he has been able to aggregate both human and natural resources towards the development of his state. I did my NYC in 1986 in the defunct Imo, and Ebonyi used to be a very rural state that no corper had wanted going there at all. But today, go and see the beautiful architectural constructions in terms of airport, in terms of provision of social infrastructure. Go to Ebonyi and see the miracles of Ebonyi under David Umahi. Thirdly, if you look at the issue of Nyesom Wike, you may not agree with his philosophies. You may not like his face, but there is no dispute to the fact that this man has been able to turn around the fortunes of rivers. I see him as a caterpillar, as a bulldozer that has been able to fine-tune the structures of River State and give it a facelift. Never in the history of this country have we had the government that has performed in terms of provision of social infrastructure, in terms of turning around the lives of the ordinary man in rivers. I don't know much about what Badaru has done, but from the feelers I've been able to get, he has been able to do very well for Jigawa State. Now, if you look at the people they have assembled, look at Dele Alake. Dele Alake is a seasoned journalist, a Democrat of conscience, a man that has performed under Tinubu administration in Lagos. He has been able to pay his dues. And also look at Mohammed Idris. Mohammed Idris is one that came into politics with morality, with decency, with honesty, and also with transparency in politics. As a man who is into the media, the owner of Blueprint newspaper, he came as a fresh breeze, with no baggages. And one person that I'm sure with his background as a journalist, and also one that owns a paper, and also with consultancy background, he is in a very better position to put a very formidable structure on ground. And look at even the women. Betty Edu at 38 had been a commissioner, a very sound, very intelligent woman of substance who has been able to motivate the women folk in Nigeria, aggregated them. She actively participated in the campaigns of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You would think as if she's over 60 because of her experiences in politics. She has been able to make her mark. And also Barrister Hannatu Musa. Hannatu Musa, everybody knows, is a citizen journalist, a citizen columnist, a lawyer, a woman of substance, a woman that controls English, fine diction, and also a woman that has substance. For a person like this, you cannot say that Bola Tinubu has not been able to assemble some of the most brainy, intelligent people. Look at Professor Ali Pati. Professor Ali Pati was the former minister under the Jonathan administration. He left a mark, indelible mark. He has been able to turn around the fortune of the health sector. As a Harvard lecturer, a lecturer in medicine in Harvard University, this is a man, or these are the kind of people that we need to bring on board to turn around the fortunes of our country. Now, moving on to the rest, I'm sure the rest, I mean, if you look at the profile, is just there. And if you look at even the issue of Abu Kyari is currently now the acting national chairman of APC. I knew him right from our university days in Maiduguri. He came from a background of parentage of decency. He came into politics with profile. He has been a chief of staff, he has been a commissioner. In fact, he started as a local government councillor. To tell you that he has been groomed through the system, and he rose through the system to become a minister. So it is not a day, it's not a single day affair. These are people that have been able to make a mark, serious mark to their people. And these are the people that we need on the sign of times. I know that some states have not been able to bring their ministers yet. The president has not been able to bring their ministers yet. But I can tell you that most of the appointments that I see being made by the president are people that will deliver. The renewed hope is not only a renewed hope based on rhetorics. It's a renewed hope that has to do with conviction, with courage of conviction, and also that has to do with people that will perform. I can tell you.
Now, let me jump in. I decided to allow you go so that it doesn't look like we're cutting off some of these personalities. But the problem now has to do with, it looks like deja vu. This is not the first time your party has assembled people of such, intimidating or exciting resume. Nigerians will want to know how soon, or what are the likelihoods of actually getting the manifesto of your party together in the face that politicking has already started within states. My conversation with Dan Ebola a while ago has shown that some party leaders have decided to nominate themselves in states where you have better people that would have come take charge and help drive the agenda of the APC.
Mr. Suleiman, let us properly situate and contextualize the issue of these nominations. You'll agree with me that, Mr. President, in the course of this journey of life under this democratic setup, has been able to look critically into the profiles of most of the people that has been appointed. He knows people. This is a man that has been prepared for the presidency. I knew for a very long time he has been building people, trying to bring politicians from across the board into the mainstream of democracy in Nigeria. And with that experience that he has had, he is very prepared for this presidency. And I can tell you, for free, Mr. Suleiman, that These people he has been able to assemble. I know, as a matter of fact, that there are some people that nominated themselves. It is a fact. But President Tinubu decided to bring in the people he felt could help him in reaching the El Dorado. These are people that I strongly believe, with a strong conviction, that they will be able to...
Is that really what it is, or not a payback time?
For who?
Compensation for those party people and non-party people for their contribution towards his electoral victory.
No, in a democracy, using any parameter of democratic practice, you will agree with me, Mr. Suleiman, that in the course of putting in square pegs in square holes, you need to get people that have assisted you and also cultivate others that are not in your party. You can see what Bola Tinubu has done. He has been able to get somebody from River State, and then there's one other from Oshun or thereabout. They are not members of the party. So it is not as if it's payback. But
did you hear, sorry to continue, did you hear Daniel say, Nyesom Wike is not a member of the PDP?
No. Nyesom Wike, as far as I'm concerned, up to yesterday, I have not heard that he has resigned. He has been a bona fide member of the PDP, and if he did resign, it is the best thing that could come to him as a human being, bearing in mind that nobody would like to associate himself with failure. This is a man that has been a progressive. He's a man that has been able to make a major landmark in the political development of this country. Provision of social infrastructure, and also turning around the fortunes of the common man, which is synonymous with the renewed hope of President Bola Tinubu. Therefore, the best party for him is to dump PDP. We've seen what PDP has been able to do before. They have been tested, but they were not trusted. That is why they lost the elections. And for them now to reclaim this mandate, I can hear my brother, Daniel Bwala, talking of the fact that I think it's a tall dream, it's a daydream, that the government, that there should be a rerun for Atiku to win. Even if there's a rerun 10 times, I can assure you, Atiku will never beat Bola Tinubu. Bearing in mind that, as it is today, Bola Tinubu has been able to put a mark on the sands of time. These policies have been able to bring, agreed, they are policies that are difficult to fathom, in the sense that they are policies that some people find, as if it's punishment. But at the end of the day, we have every cause to smile. Bear in mind that the issue of subsidy, which is very fundamental, all the political parties have agreed that subsidy must go. Now, this is the difficulty we are facing. As subsidy has gone, and also the issue now of minimum wage, palliatives are going to come as soon as possible. Nigeria should be patient with this government. Let them look at this government with human face, knowing full well that the government has been able to inherit a lot of baggages and burdens from the past administrations, of which I don't want to go back to that. But
it's always good to go back,
yes.
But your party is always seem to be afraid to go back because it's the same party. But the way the president is acting now, and some of you speak, is indicative that this administration isn't too excited about the last administration.
You see, the former philosopher and historian George Santayana has been quoted severally as saying that if experience is not retained, infancy is perpetual. Those that forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Now, the past that I'm talking about is not just the Buhari administration. I'm talking from the down of history. From 1999 to the present. All the administrations that came at the past had their own vices and follies, and therefore there could not be any exception. So we are not hanging on anything to only Buhari administration, but Obasanjo, Yaradua, Goodluck, Jonathan, all of these administrations have their burdens. But I can tell you, these burdens are what the current president Bola Tinubu is carrying on his shoulders. He is trying to make sure that, look, he makes Nigeria governable, he makes Nigeria a place to live, he turns around the fortunes, especially of the economy, the social well-being, provides social infrastructure. Let me tell you.
Quickly, please.
Suleiman.
Yeah.
Give Nasir El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, give him a desert, he can turn it into a forest. Give him an impossible task. This is one man that I have absolute confidence of delivery. And also, Nyesom Wike and the Umahi with other ministers. To me,
I think we've gone around that.
Yes, so to me, Suleiman.
So it's a fine place to wrap up.
To me,
quickly.
This is a fine place to land. And let me tell you, let us support the Tinubu administration. Nigeria will not regret voting this government into
Ibrahim Modibo, many thanks for coming on Arise Prime Time.
Thank you.